This segment of Naperville Sports Weekly is brought to you by the Daily Herald.
I'm joined today by Coach Jeff Powers of the Naperville North boys basketball team. Thank you for joining me.
It's wonderful to be here talking to you guys.
Now, you guys came in off a great win against Lake Park. How has this team been able to kind of just take it day by day, especially when they're not used to being atop the DVC?
Well, you know, one of the things is that this group is really focused one game at a time. They're really concentrated on getting the deed done at that time. They're understanding our opponent and what we have to do. They're not looking at the next one. So they're doing a good job. For a young group, they're pretty mature.
You only have a couple seniors on this team, so how do you take that young group and have them mature so quickly in the way that they have this year?
Well, we got 6 seniors, one plays a lot. Jelani McLean, who's been a 4-year starter, so his leadership has been really, really important. E.J. Vaughn comes off the bench and does a nice job. And then we got 3 other seniors and a 4th one that joined us this year who are just great teammates, great practice players. When they get their turn, they do good things. So I think their leadership there. Plus last year we brought up Cam and Mitch and Winston, so they have experience. And then a kid like Sully, he's a true competitor, played on our soccer teams as a freshman. And Chris Johnson is just a very, very special sophomore who gets it right away.
I talked to Sullivan after the Lake Park game, and I asked him about being a star on the soccer pitch, being the team captain there, and then coming here and basically being a role player, coming off the bench and just being a part of this team. And he told me that he really enjoys it. So to see somebody like him who knows that he can excel in sports and just be a team player the way that he has been, that's got to be something really good for you as a coach to see, right?
Well, it's really good for us to see, but it's really good for our kids in our program to understand that they're all playing in important roles. If they're the last guy, if they're the first guy, and their job is to do what they do best. And Sully sets the table. He's a real energy guy, and he comes here with the right attitude and right concentration. So he's been a big plus for us, and we're glad he decided to play basketball and soccer.
You also had mentioned Winston Nelson. Early in the season, it looked like he was your go-to guy to get some points when you need him because you didn't have Mitch for a good portion of the season. So what is having Winston grow up the way that he has in the 2 years that you've seen him?
Well, Winston has really grown up, and the first part of the season, he was our best offensive player. You could see him scoring a lot of points, made some big shots, 2 game winners, almost had another one Saturday, just missed. So just the experience of playing last year and then getting the opportunity here. Now with Mitch in, they're sharing the basketball, so he's not getting as many points, but he's still doing the things that are real important for a team to be successful. And he's a very gifted player with a very confident ability to shoot the ball, especially in pressurized situations.
You mentioned Jelani and his leadership as a 4-year varsity starter. So what's it been like to see him and taking Winston under his wing, or just in general leading the team the way he has?
Well, if you notice on the second half when we're got the offense by us, we can't yell at our guys defensively. And every time they leave, I yell at Jelani, "Hey, make sure we're all talking." He's another coach on the floor. He knows exactly what we're supposed to do and how we're doing it. His 4th year as a starter. He's off the charts a leader, but he's off the charts as a communicator. And he is one of the best communicators I've ever seen coaching a team.
Obviously, communication's a big deal, especially when you're on the court. So this team has a different dynamic. Something about this team is different than years past. Can you explain what is so special about this team in this year so far?
You know what? I think we've had some very, very good teams, and one of the things is you can hear in the background how enthusiastic they are, and I think that's a key is the enthusiasm, and I think there's certain years you just have a lot of talent, and we have a lot of talent, and with that talent, the kids are working real hard because they saw the guys before us set the table and teach them how to play hard, how to talk, how to hustle. So they're using their talent now with the hard work, and that's gotten them where they are.
When I talked to Jelani, I asked him about being in a couple championship tournament games and what that experience was like. So how do you guys take that experience? Granted, it wasn't the outcome you guys wanted, but how do you take that experience into now, obviously, regionals and sectionals is just around the corner?
Well, I think that's what the regular season's for, getting yourself in situations and see how you react to them. And then this group is really, really good. That's probably another one of their pluses of when we show them film, good and bad, they're very in tune and they understand. There's a lot of kids on this team that understand the game. And when we show them, they'll make corrections. And I think from when we lost at York, we made corrections. When we lost to Oswego in the championship, we made corrections. So I think that has gotten us to where we're now 3 games ahead in the DVC because they made their corrections from what we learned in the past.
This team hasn't really been in a position to win the DVC lately the way it is now. So how has the kids responded to the pressure the last couple games, especially that big Lake Park win?
Well, this is a different personality. They're not feeling the pressure. They're just out there playing basketball, having fun. They do it well. And we haven't put any pressure on them. And they've understand it's one game at a time. So they've done a good job at that. And when you're confident in your abilities, I don't think you feel the pressure as much as if you weren't confident.
That shot, when you saw that shot go up at the York tournament against Hinsdale South, and Winston Ellison hits that 3, everyone goes crazy. Obviously, that was a big moment. You want to say that may have been, to an extent, a turning point in the season?
I think the turning point was when we lost to Wheaton North, honestly. And that was the turning point because we had 11 days to our next game. And we had 11 days of grueling practices, really, really worked on defense. And that was our weakness at the time. And to the kids' credit, they got it, they understood it, and they wanted to get better, and they worked their butts off. And then all of a sudden we got on that roll after Christmas and hadn't lost until we lost a 2-point game to Bloomington. So I think that was a turning point. Those were key, I think, to keep building the confidence, but the key was at Wheaton North.
One player that's been dealing with nagging injuries all season has been Mitch Lewis. How do you take what he's been able to do on the court and see the way that he's been playing through the injuries and show the other guys that you can get out there too?
Mitch has showed a lot of toughness and maturity this year. A lot of kids would probably have not tried to play or figured out a way to play, but Mitch has gone and really, really focused in on trying to get out here and playing the best of his ability. And he's helped us as soon as he got in shape. Now he's in shape, a little bit of shape. Now he's really, really helping us, and it's a credit to his toughness.
You have Chris Johnson also out there playing as a sophomore, so it's got to be a pretty big thing for a sophomore to be on the varsity team and produce in the way that he has, especially for his size.
Chris has done an outstanding job. He's 6'6", 225 pounds, and he's an athlete. I mean, he understands the game. He's probably been one of the keys, the way he could defend the middle. Once we got him this summer, and all the perimeter guys that we have, and him being able to clog up the middle, stop there, and also score in the paint. He's first guy in a long time that we had a scoring big man. Matt Lacoste, who's getting honored Friday with his jersey being retired for football for the Giants, was the same thing. We could throw it into him. Here we got a kid now who can catch in the middle and score.
One question I need to know is, Jelani told me that you guys have a lot of acronyms, a lot of different sayings, ATL, never die easy. So where do you come up with these kind of, I guess, inspiring ideas for the kids?
I'm an avid reader, and I try to push that onto the kids there. And ATL was an article Coach Saban used on the football team at Alabama. So I read that one day this summer. I gave the boys the article to read. They read it, and right away Jelani came back to me and said, hey, I like this, Coach. I like this above the line. And we went with it. So a lot of the times it's been a line that we found a couple years ago when we won, 5 years ago when we won the championship. It was shocked the world because they were figured to be last place in the conference, and they end up winning the conference through toughness. So it's things that we've read, that we saw, and the seniors at the end decide what it's going to be.
How good can this team be?
You know what? I still think there's a lot of ceiling left here for us to climb. I think they work hard and they're concentrating. And as long as, barring no injury, and we continue to work hard, they can keep improving. And because they're confident and they're experienced, we can at least make a little bit of statement and maybe in the postseason.
Well, good luck in the postseason, Coach. I thank you for joining me, and again, good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you so much. It's been an honor to be on TV, and I appreciate all your guys' support over the year.
Absolutely, thank you so much.